Hello everybody, welcome to Gleipnir episode 6 anime review. I'm surprised. Well, I shouldn't be. That's what I could say the most about this episode. They didn't see the story going in this direction, that's for sure. It was pretty weird. Also, the animal girl is the best. I have no counterpoints to that. I really hope she doesn't die, which I've got a sneaking suspicion it might happen, considering the pieces involved. Would not be good. Also, there was some lesbians. That's fine. I'm not a homophobe. Didn't see it going that way, though. So, there's that. Anyway, let's jump into the episode. See how it all went down and everything, because Jesus, didn't see it coming. Let's do this thing. So we open up with this masked lady who we've never seen before. She's doing a big old rah-rah speech about how we will collect the coins for the good of the world and all this yada yada yada. Turns out Shuichi and Claire are there as members of this new troupe, whatever you want to call it. Flashback to how we got here. You remember last week that goblin dude got killed, the guy with the pictures? Claire phoned one of the guys, the guy, he was blackmailing, and basically said, hey, we killed the goblin dude, take us to your leader please so we can hang out. That's what they did. The other guy, whose name I've written down as Sambe, don't know if that's actually his name, the guy that agreed to help them, he's like, I'm not going to help the group, but I'll help you too. So, I guess he's going to jump in at some point to help them out, but, not while they work with this other group. They discuss it a bit more. Elena, Claire's sister, probably has allies in the mountain because she was on her phone. That's a key information right there. Then they talk about how they met by destiny, and there's hugs and everything. It's like, oh, it's almost sweet, but it's the two of you, so it's not. That's basically where I'm at. Back to present day. To get in this group, they got to go through some ritual thing. Firstly, they got to turn to normal, which they sort of do. Claire comes out of the suit. Shuichi stays in his transformed state, whereas Claire comes out of the suit and is like, here's what it looks like. She's wearing a school uniform, not school uniform, school swimsuit. So, there's that. That's safe at least. Claire leaves with the leader to do a pact and everything. And then she takes her clothes off. Yeah, no, I don't have anything to add. To be fair, this is the one time, I'm pretty lax when it comes to fan service. I don't really give a crap. But I like there to be some reasoning, no matter how thin it may be. Here, the reasoning seemed to be that the leader just wanted to bone Claire. That was the reasoning, which, I mean, fair play. I'm not going to disagree, but kind of came out of nowhere. Where everything else has made at least a little bit of sense. Even she takes her clothes off so she doesn't get her clothes dirty when she gets into Shuichi. Even that minimal explanation, I'm okay with that. That at least makes some sense. More than this, although who knows? We all know this show is kind of weird, but I almost admire it for being so blatant. I do kind of admire it. But anyway, more on that. The Helmet Girl, Pet Shuichi, as I said, she's the best. Basically, also we learned that the dude will die if they reveal secret, because this leader girl has got some ability that lets her. Basically, her secrets can't be, spoken out loud, because otherwise we learn more about it a bit later on as well. Claire and the leader do some negotiating. Claire comes back briefly to get her phone and seems to be all jealous of the Helmet Girl for being so close to Shuichi, almost like a, hey, back off, Shows her a pic of the sister. Leader girl knows of Elena. She's like, hey, join my group and I'll tell you everything you want to know. And Claire immediately is like, yeah, sure, I'll do that, why not? I'm like, maybe you should ask what this ritual is first of all. I feel like that's probably a good thing to do. Especially to where the play will. Where we go next? Should we go where we're going to go next? Let's go where we're going to go next. So the ceremony begins with mounting. And yeah, we know where this is going. Leader gives a backstory briefly. I didn't write her name down, which is why I'm just referring to her as the leader. She basically was with a teacher, romantically, sexually probably as well. There was images. There was definitely a thing that happened. She told her friend, because she was concerned because she was keeping her distance. Because teachers and students can't really be doing that. The friend told everyone and the teacher hung themselves. Also turned out, teacher was a woman. And then the leader starts fondling Claire and it's like, oh, is that the ritual? Is that where we're going? Is this gonna be this kind of show now? This is an off-brand anime if I've ever seen it. Then we go back to Shuichi briefly to see what he's up to. He's talking to the helmet girl, the other guy, the guy who they blackmailed. He's a telescope guy also, turns out. I mentioned him last week. I was like, the guy just had a telescope for a head. What a weirdo. No, the telescope guy is, I guess he likes the helmet girl. And he gets all jealous because she's getting on so well with Shuichi. She basically then tells him, hey, I'm collecting coins. Basically so bad people can't get them. And Shuichi's like, I too am a good person and don't want the bad people to do anything. She lost her wallet and basically wants his smell to look for it. I really didn't trust her. I was like, she's going to get him alone and she's going to eat him or something. But no, it turns out that's when we find out she has animal ears and is the most adorable thing in the whole world. Isn't that right? Shuichi wants to look around alone so her smell doesn't interrupt it. And she wants to get in, and then she strips. The telescope guy is watching them this whole time, shaking in anger. Yeah, she strips and eventually does get into him. Except she went all the way. She took all her clothes off, and lucky those little things just so happened to block the exciting bits. Man, this show's bizarre. I don't know what I was expecting going into this show, but it's. I mean, it wasn't this. I'll say that much. So yeah, so she's inside him. They're looking for the thing. They try walking around. It's different than Claire, and Shuichi keeps thinking of Claire, and she's like, "You're thinking of her again. Thinking of another woman." And he's like, "No, it's not like that." And everyone is watching is like, "Yeah, it is like that. We all know it's like that. Come on, Shuichi, behave." But then back to the sex, I guess. Claire basically says, "Hey, please stop. I've known you for about 10 minutes." And she's like, you know what, fair enough. And then she puts her clothes back on. Turns out none of that was relevant at all to the ritual. So that's where I have my issue. It's all well and good saying, hey, she has a thing for Claire, because fair enough, who doesn't? But, it kind of came out of nowhere. We escalated very quickly. And then it had nothing to do with the actual ritual. Even if it was required for the ritual, I think I would have been more fine than just... Maybe I'm just upset I got baited. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Anyway, after all that is done, the actual ritual, she gets a little choker made of hair. Pretty gross, but whatever. Wraps it around her head. Basically how this works is if you tell her secrets, it's going to cut your head off. So don't do that. Basically because, she also explained later on how her powers are really specific because she had she knew what she wanted when she took the reward from the alien guy. As opposed to like everyone else who didn't really, it's like subconscious, which is why it's so weird and not like as obvious. Which, that's an interesting way of putting it. She actually chose her powers as opposed to just being, I guess, brain scanned. And they're like, oh, here's what you want deep down inside. It's kind of weird. But yeah, meanwhile, Shuichi figures out the girl inside him is proper nude, and he's like, that's bad. And the whole time he's like, please get out, this is weird, you're going to get in trouble with Claire, I don't want that. So yeah, they're still looking for the thing. And then Elena, we see her briefly, her friend, whose name is Subaru. Subaru apparently also the girl's name, didn't know that. But no, they find the wallet, so I guess we're going towards another confrontation with Elena. And I mean, that girl's inside of Shuichi, and she wasn't happy beforehand, so I guess she's going to kill the girl that's inside of Shuichi. Maybe the telescope guy will somehow cause it, because he's mad at Shuichi as well. Man, I don't like her chances of survival. Like, maybe I'm completely wrong, but I think she's too pure to not die, if that makes any sense. I don't believe for a second, like, this does not seem the kind of show where they're going to keep the happy people alive. They're going to kill the ones that are just right. First, I really didn't trust her. I thought she was up to something, but now I'm leaning towards she's just gonna, because she's so nice, she ain't gonna make it, is she? Be gutted. I hope she lives though, because hey, Claire needs a rival, I guess. Does she? Ah, sod it. We'll say yeah, she does. So yeah, don't know how long they're going to stick around with this group. My gut feeling is telling me it's going to be similar to, like, weird example, like The Walking Dead, the TV show. How they stay in one place for a bit, but then it all falls apart. I imagine this might go a similar way. It's like, hey, they'll stay with the group for a bit, and then everyone will die, and it'll be sad. Maybe they'll get the matey boy, whose name I've forgotten again, the guy who's helping them. Maybe he'll show up to bail them out at some point. I have no idea. I mean, I am invested in this show. It's really weird. Like, it's really weird. But I'm invested in it, and I can deal with weird, you know? I can see why a lot of people can't, because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this show that would put people off. Personally, it's really unique and weird. But I'm enjoying it, so that's good. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. Thank you very much kindly. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye, guys.